Well, hi, everybody. A lot of good friends and a couple of new people. Fantastic. Okay, easy, deep breaths. And as is usual, lately, there is construction going on a couple floors below me. So I've turned on some kind of background meditative music. Um, and hopefully, you either won't hear it or we can just kind of laugh about it. Okay, easy deep breaths, everybody. Get comfortable. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Art Geiser. I'm the creator of Energetic NLP. And Energetic NLP is a synthesis of NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, along with spiritual principles, transformative energy work, intuition development, and more. And really excited about today's topic. Sunday here in the United States is Mother's Day. And it dawned on me this would be a perfect time to work on clearing programming from our mothers and also healing our relationship with our mothers. And that's worth doing whether or not your mother is in body or she has passed. Either way, it's a really important thing to do. And when I talk about clearing the programming from our mothers, everybody's mother programmed them. Even if you never knew your mother, mothers are energetically programmed to program their children. So it's not a bad thing that they programmed us. That's what they were supposed to do. It's just the kind of people that are attracted to energetic NLP. We want to grow, we want to evolve, we want to be authentic. And as we grow up, we need to release everybody else's programming from our space, connect with our own inner wisdom and the insight, knowledge, and information from our spirit. So I'm just going to do just a real quick couple of background concepts that are really, really important. One is we use a term in energetic NLP that's not a term you've heard before if you don't know energetic NLP, so don't turn it into something else. It's called your miraculous self. So a lot of people go, oh, my high self. No, your miraculous self is something unique and different. Your high self just exists. Your miraculous self is something, for most people, it kind of sort of exists, but think of it like a muscle that you've never used. So it's weak. It doesn't have any power to it. And by setting your intention and by starting to develop the muscle, then your miraculous self gets stronger and stronger. So let it be a whole separate thing than your high self. Your miraculous self is when your spirit and your human inner wisdom are aligned and working together. It's when your spirit, with its vast awareness, is aligned with your inner human wisdom. And sometimes people go, well, isn't that automatic? Absolutely not. I've been working with people since really the early 80s. And I discovered during the 80s that very often their spirit and their inner human wisdom were not aligned. And that was one of the reasons they had trouble manifesting their authentic heart's desires and manifesting their goals. So developing your miraculous self is a complex subject. My energetic NLP M Club, and we use M a lot of times rather than your miraculous self. So if I say your M, it means your miraculous self, which means your inner spirit and wisdom working together. So the M Club is a year-long mastermind program where people open up and enhance their miraculous abilities to work with energies, to open up their intuition, their psychic abilities, their knowing, and their ability to transform themselves and others with earth and universal energies, and also some more psychological techniques and principles from NLP. And so obviously in this short session, you're not going to completely master and integrate in your miraculous self, but you can make progress in it. So the first step is just as a conscious being realizing you have a right and ability to make choices in your life. You have a right and ability to set intentions and make choices and to give permission. And permission is a huge topic that we work on in energetic NLP, and it's much more complex than people think it is. But for right now, if you want to, just go, I'm giving permission, I'm setting my intention, and I'm giving 100% permission for my human inner wisdom and my spirit to start working together to create a more and more miraculous life for me. And you don't have to remember that whole statement. I'll repeat it. You can just go, yes, what Art said. So what I'm encouraging you to do is to give 100% permission and to set your intention that starting right now, your inner wisdom and your spirit are working together more and more to guide you, to support you, to help you manifest, to nurture you, to create synchronicities in your life. And so that you're setting your intention and giving permission to really build your miraculous self. Okay, easy deep breaths. Oh, and as Stacy said, yes. Yeah, please do that. Oh, and by the way, it's really, really helpful. I'll say this now before the energy gets flowing. It's really, really helpful if you click a like or a heart, and especially helpful if you make a comment or like this page, because Facebook looks at all of that, and when they see that, they go, oh, this is something people value, this is something people interested. So they'll organically show it to more and more people who've shown an interest in personal and spiritual in personal and spiritual development and in energy work and in chakras and similar topics. So it's really, really helpful if you do that, and it's much appreciated. And I will mention, I'll encourage people, and I'll put the link in, to go to my website and sign up on my mailing list. I'm going to be doing a lot of free webinars, and I'm also going to be offering some programs in London and in the United States in June that I think you might be really interested in. And we're going to be restarting this M Club, this year-long mastermind program. So if you go to the Energetic NLP website, then and sign up, you'll hear all about it. And all the emails have an unsubscribe link at the bottom. So, if you decide you don't like what you're hearing about, I don't think that'll happen, but if you decide that, then you can unsubscribe at any time. And you're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. And hi to everybody. Okay. So in Energetic NLP, you always put your miraculous self in charge. You put your own inner wisdom and spirit in charge. So my job is to get the energy flowing, and your job is just to set your intention, in this case, to clear programming from your mother and to heal the relationship with your mother. So you just set that intention, give 100% permission for your miraculous self, which is, again, your inner wisdom and spirit. Some people are coming in late, so I'll repeat things. So you're setting your intention to clear the programming, heal the relationship, and 100% permission that your miraculous self will be in charge of what happens for you. So take a moment, and if that's appealing, go ahead and just, in your mind, just be clear, like, right now, we're starting to clear my mother's programming. We're healing the relationship with my mother, and my miraculous self is in charge of what happens for me during this session. And then my job is to get the energy flowing. And if you're not used to remote energy work, that seems like a mysterious special ability. It might be mysterious, but it's not a special ability. Everybody who goes to my programs learns how to do it. It's really, it's actually incredibly simple to do remote energy work. Once you know how to do it, it's like, oh, that was easy. Okay, take some easy deep breaths. Relax. Put your miraculous self in charge. And I'm going to ask your miraculous self right now to start going through your unconscious mind and your energy field, because programming isn't just in your unconscious mind. Programming exists in the energy, in your energy field. And I'm not going to take the time to explain that right now. I explain it in some of the other Facebook Lives. And by the way, if you go to the left-hand side of the page and click on videos, you can find other Facebook Lives that I've done. And if you like them, share them with other people. Okay, easy deep breaths. Your miraculous self is identifying what programming from your mother it wants to heal and release right now. And as soon as it heals and releases it, it will get replaced by your inner wisdom and information, knowledge, and insights from your spirit. So as soon as the old programming gets released, outside of your conscious awareness, your miraculous self will replace it with your human inner wisdom. It will replace it with information, insights, and knowledge from your spirit, which will always be better than the programming. And if you don't try to consciously control it, it will be 1,000,000 times more beneficial to you. You don't need to consciously control your inner wisdom and spirit. And if you try to, you'll limit it down. Okay, easy deep breaths. Get the energy flowing. And I should mention, don't ever listen to any of these programs when you're driving, because the energy is to get you to go inward, which is not the way you want to be driving. And you'll probably get away with it, but it's a really bad idea. So just never listen to any of these while you're driving. They're recorded. They're on the Facebook page. They'll be on YouTube also. And affirm your inner wisdom and your spirit are in charge of what happens for you. And we're not trying to clear all the programming from your mother at once. Even if we could do that, it's too much at one time. So just let your miraculous self decide how much is just right for right now. Easy deep breaths. If you have any resentments and anger at your mother, you can, if you want to, you can ask your miraculous self to release some or all of that. So one of my mentors used to say, your parents didn't go to perfect parent school, and it wasn't actually their job to be your perfect parent. And I know some of you had parents that were far from perfect. Nonetheless, you might want to consider just releasing all that. And if you just joined us, we're putting our inner wisdom in, or you're putting your inner wisdom and spirit in charge, which is what we call your miraculous self, when your inner wisdom and spirit are working together. And we're releasing programming from your mother and healing the relationship with your mother, which again is great timing here for those of us here in the US, because it's almost Mother's Day. It'll be Mother's Day soon. But it's always the right time to be doing this. And a man named Nelson Zink, who's a developer in NLP, had kind of an interesting thing. He would ask adults, like, how old are you now? So think of how old are you now? And then think of how old was your mother when she had you as a child? And for most of us, realizing how young our mothers were. And unlike today, it wasn't like they could just hop on the internet and go, how to handle this situation with my child. And for most of us, it was just a whole different time. And the expectations of what a parent should or shouldn't do and their knowledge of how to be a good parent was mostly really limited. And their ability to deal with their own frustrations and problems and overwhelm was quite limited. And for a lot of our mothers, there was a certain frustration at being a housewife. Even if they enjoyed it, for a lot of them, there was still an awareness that there was so much more they could do. Not that I'm saying I think it's a perfectly valid choice to be a housewife or a house husband. But for most of them, it wasn't any kind of a choice. And for others of your parents, they were working or they were single. So let's just have compassion for our mothers, whether we think they did a good job, a pretty good job, adequate job, poor job, or terrible job. And there is infinite universal love. And a lot of us harbor resentments against our mothers because they didn't give us love in the way we thought they should have. And often we didn't recognize the ways that they did give us love. But right now, put your miraculous self in charge and allow your heart to be open and connect to universal love. And allow your heart to be filled with the love that you were demanding from your mother or that you resent that she didn't give you. And you can bring in universal love to also fill in any gaps from other people, partners, your children, because a lot of you are parents and maybe haven't received the love from your children that you wanted, or didn't receive it, at least in a way that you could recognize. And Agnieszka, I'm also helping you with what you brought up the other day in Los Angeles. Take a couple easy deep breaths, let the energy flow, let your miraculous self be in charge. And remember that as the programming is being released from your mother, it's being immediately replaced by your inner wisdom and knowledge, insights, and information from your spirit. And for extra credit, ask any resentments or anger you have towards your mother, any of it that your miraculous self wants you to release, you can start releasing it, healing it, and releasing it, allowing energy to go back in time to heal you as a child. And we're old enough now, we can set boundaries with people without it having to be from anger, resentment, or making them wrong. And that's a whole big topic in itself, but I just want to plant that seed at least. You can set a boundary with people without making them wrong, without being angry, just because there are ways you do and don't want to be treated, period. And if you don't know what this means, that's fine, because your miraculous self does. People who've studied energetic NLP know what I'm talking about. Give permission for your miraculous self to end or revise or learn do from the contracts you have with your mother, with the spiritual contracts and the conscious contracts you have with your mother. And again, if you don't know what that means, just allow it to happen. Your miraculous self understands. Easy deep breaths. And again, we're letting healing energy go back and heal your childhood, hurts, resentments with your mother. And we're not trying to get everything done right now. Whatever's the right amount. Because in energy work, faster and more is not the same as better. So just keep your miraculous self in charge of how much childhood healing there is. Or it may not all be childhood healing. It might be from a week ago or a year ago. And that's enough for one sitting. So we're going to bring in energies now to help you process and integrate these shifts. And while that's happening, for those of you that are new to energy work, I didn't want to take a lot of time at the beginning, but I will mention, if you felt the energy, that's fine. If you didn't feel it, it's fine. It works either way. You may have temporarily felt aches or pains. Emotions may come up, and particularly because we're working on your relationship with your mother, you're going to be processing this for days, if not weeks. And at times, emotions may come up, and they're coming up to be released and healed. So all you need to do, if they do come up, and they may not, but if they do come up today or over the next coming days, just notice them. And a lot of you know the term mindfulness. Just be mindful of them. Just go, oh, anger's coming up and I'm releasing it. Irritation's coming up, I'm releasing it. Disappointment is coming up, I'm releasing it. Not feeling worthy might be coming up, I'm releasing it. Just let it flow. You don't have to do anything to it, but just acknowledge it and give it permission to keep leaving, and give your miraculous self permission to keep releasing it. After energy work, it's important to drink water, because your body and your energy field and your spirit are all completely interrelated. So when one changes, your body is also changing and it's releasing chemicals. And that's a good thing. If you drink water, then your body can just release them. If you don't drink water, you may feel a little sluggish later. It's really good after energy work to even do light movement, stretch, move, dance, take a walk, take a hot shower. Because again, your body now wants to realign into a healthier pattern, into a better pattern. This will be recorded. This is being recorded. It'll be on the Facebook page, and you can come back and listen to it and keep working with this. And if you know people that would benefit from clearing programming from their mother and working on their relationship with their mother, please share this with them. Again, if you on the side, it will take a little time after this is over, but on the left-hand side, if you click on videos, you'll find these different videos, and you'll probably find other ones you want to listen to too. But you can come back and listen to this. You can get the link for it and share it with other people, or just share the energetic NLP page with them. Would be fantastic. Take some easy deep breaths, and we're bringing in more energy to help you process this and to do what we call uncooking, because this is big stuff, working with your mom. I just put into one of the posts the Energetic NLP web page link, and if you go to that page, you can sign up on my mailing list. And we're in the process of redoing the web pages, so it's going to be a lot better soon, just so you know. If I can comment, somebody was talking about how her and her siblings, her mother told them that none of them were planned, but her mother, once they were born, her mother loved them. If I can give a humorous version, so this was at a time in my when I was in university, when I was in college, it was hippie days, and I wasn't a full-fledged hippie, but I was hippie-ish. So the whole hippie thing was about freedom and passion and spontaneity. So I was with my mother and a good friend of hers, another woman, and my mother proudly goes, "You were planned," and which is a wonderful thing. I was, and she meant you wanted, you were loved, and I was kind of disappointed. And she goes, "Why are you disappointed?" And her friend goes, "Don't you get it? He wants to be spontaneous passion, the product of that." So no matter whether you were planned or unplanned, what we make of that in our mind is our own thing. So I just thought I'd mention that. And just because later, well, I guess you do see all the comments later. So the wonderful comments from people, and I really appreciate the comments. And those of you that came on late, if you do likes or hearts or whatever, Facebook likes that. If you put in comments, they like that. And if you like the whole page, they really like that. And when they like it, what happens is they will spontaneously show it to more people who can benefit. So it'd be a great gift to me and to other people if you comment, like the page, etc. And if you let other people know that occasionally I can't do these on a Thursday because I'm working, leading workshops and stuff, or traveling, but normally they will be every Thursday. So thank you for being part of this. Let's separate out our energies. And I want to ask your unconscious minds and your miraculous selves to make sure if you're doing anything after this that requires safety, that your unconscious mind, your miraculous self, turns down the processing so you're naturally safe, naturally alert. And then tonight and for the next 3 nights, part of the time when you're sleeping, not all night, but part of the time when you're sleeping, your unconscious mind can review what we did in the session. When your unconscious mind reviews it as you're sleeping, your miraculous self will infuse it with your inner wisdom, infuse it with knowledge, insight, and information from your spirit. What we've done will be made richer. It'll be made deeper, wider, higher, more multidimensional, and especially more automatically integrated into your life. And 2 last things. I'd like to ask your miraculous self to update all your relational networks, particularly with your mother. But when you do work like this, it positively affects all your relationships. So just imagine they're being updated and that other people are being informed energetically, spiritually, that you've changed your energy. And that's really good for them. And then lastly, ask your miraculous self to pull your energy out of my space and everybody else's space in the session. And I'm going to pull, I love all the hearts coming up. That makes me feel really good. I'm going to pull all my energy and programming back out of your space. So everybody retrieve your own energy, and we'll dissolve our group energy space until next week. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope if you're not signed up on my mailing list that you will, because again, I have a lot of free webinars coming up and workshops, and if any of them resonate with you, I'd like it to be possible for you. Okay, thanks everybody, and the chat will stay open for a while, but I will end the broadcast itself. So thanks, and I will respond to the chat for a while. See you next week.